Hi, my name is Dr. Karen Kan. I'm the founder of the Academy of Light Medicine and the Topocan Healing Method. In this series, Healing Myths, Mistakes, and Misconceptions, I'm going over some common themes among people that say they want to heal but may not be able to heal as quickly or as gracefully as they would like. And in fact, there's a lot of people who are highly sensitive in the world who actually feel more and therefore sometimes have more symptoms. It's very frustrating for them. So, in this segment today, I'm going to be talking about detoxification symptoms. What are they, and do you really need them? So, one of the misconceptions in healing is that if you have a symptom and you get the right healing, whether that be like conventional medicine or energy medicine or chiropractic or the right pills, the potions, needles, herbs, etc., that you should feel better. And here's the thing, when the body has the energy and what it needs to actually heal itself, one of the first things the body does is it starts kicking out toxins. It kicks out toxins that it's stored over time. Now, why would toxins store over time? Because if the body doesn't have the right energy and it's overloaded with toxins, it'll just store the toxins because it has to deal with everyday life, right? Digestion, breathing, your brain function, like it has to deal with everyday life. So if there's not enough juice in the system, it just kind of puts those toxins away in a closet. Have you done that with too much stuff in your house? Yeah. So it's like when people come to my house and I don't have time to completely, clean the house, I'll take whatever's on the kitchen table in a big box, put it in a box, and put it in my office. Yeah. Now, if you come to my house, you'll be like, I know where you put the boxes in your office. Yeah, it is. So, um, we don't have time sometimes to, clean the office, but it's similar to the body. Sometimes the body doesn't have the time, the energy, oomph, the clarity, if you will, of being able to clean itself. So it stores the toxins until which time you can clean it. And that's probably why a lot of studies have shown that autophagy or autophagy, if you're Canadian, you misspell things sometimes. Sorry, I don't mean to say Canadians misspell things. I'm saying that some things we pronounce differently. So maybe autophagy is autophagy in Canada. I don't know. Anyway, so autophagy is when you are able to eat the dead cells in your bloodstream in the body, and that is supported by intermittent fasting. So not having anything in your digestive system except for water or just broth or something like that allows the body the free energy to be able to look for the gunky stuff in your system to clear. When you are eating all the time, like there's so many people that are so, oh, eat 6 times a day, what happens is your digestive system is always on that. And so it's taking the energy that it would otherwise clear you of junk and toxins. It's taking that time to actually digest your food, digest your food, digest your food, you know? It's why they tell you not to go swimming after eating a big meal, right? Because all your blood is like, not all your blood, but a lot of your blood is in your gut trying to digest your food, and here you are swimming and you might get a cramp because there's not enough chi or energy flow or blood flow to your arms and legs and your heart, right? So they say, I've ran after lunch, for gym or something like that in school, and used to get a stitch on my side. I hated that back then, but it makes sense. So that rest time for your body is really important. So that's an example of detoxification. Now, here's the thing is when we first start that wonderful journey of detoxification, we can actually get more symptoms, not less symptoms. So sometimes, for example, if say you injured your elbow, 20 years ago, you got metal plates in, whatever, right? When you start doing healing work or general healing work for your body, whether that be a new diet, whether that be intermittent fasting, whether that be energy healing, herbs, etc., phototherapy patches, acupuncture, sometimes the old symptom will come back up and you're like, what the heck? That was 20 years ago. Why is my formerly broken arm or wrist or whatever I said, why is that hurting? And what's happening is things are reworking themselves. When you have that open space, if you will, to detoxify, and you have enough energy to do that, it'll start looking for what needs to heal. And what's really interesting in the body is when things need to heal, not only are the toxins taken out of their hiding places, or in my case, box in my office. Not only are they taken out of their hiding places and you're putting stuff in the garbage, you're peeing, pooping out, sweating things out. Sometimes it'll find old infections. It'll find scar tissue that it can remodel. So the body will go into a pro-inflammatory phase. Let me repeat that, a pro-inflammatory phase, meaning that it's going into an inflammatory phase for a good reason, in this case, to help you clear that stuff. When you go into a positive inflammation, you get sometimes elevated temperature, sometimes you get swelling, sometimes you get tiredness in the inflammatory phase as things are clearing out. They used to call this a healing crisis. So, for example, in medicine, we actually called it a Herxheimer reaction, probably because, Dr. Herxheimer described it. And what that is when you give antibiotics to someone, like say someone with syphilis, okay, and they take the antibiotics, the little guys, that cause the syphilis die, and their dead bodies cause an inflammatory response in the body. The body then cleans that up, but people get fever. Sometimes they get a horrible rash. They feel like crap during that. So that's called a healing crisis or a Herxheimer reaction. So if you feel worse after an energy healing, for example, that is often the case where it is a healing reaction. Now, how big the healing reaction is kind of depends on how quickly you're healing, how many toxins are there, how much was unearthed during that time, and how much is able and willing to heal. I mean, that's why people often heal in layers, because if they healed everything all at once, then they would be in bed for days because they would feel like they had the flu. And when people go, oh, I caught a cold or I caught a flu or whatever it is, oftentimes the healing phase is when you get the symptoms. Same thing with cancer. By the time you see the tumor, you're in the healing phase of whatever it is you're healing. Of course, can the detoxification symptoms, like in cancer, kill you? Yeah, they could. Yeah, they could. So now, for the most part, that is not true of other things, but there are ways in which you can diminish the healing reaction, making sure that you have the energy, you have, your detoxification and drainage pathways open to deal with the mental, emotional, energetic, and spiritual and/or dimensional issues underlying the original cause of whatever it is you have. And here is a tip. If you happen to be one of the people that has a very, very severe detoxification reaction after any healing that you do or a new herb or whatever it is, you can actually rewire your subconscious mind to not give you as big a reaction. Yeah. So I have an actual example of this. So I had a patient years ago come to the office, and she really liked the energy work, but she could only tolerate, like, we would do emotion code, body code back then, and I could only erase 2 negative emotions from her, and then she'd be pretty tired for the rest of the week, and she's just like, I don't want to be that tired, right? So, after we had that reaction on one of her visits, I said, let's just check in why you have such a severe reaction, because most people could get through 20 minutes of pretty intensive and deep healing work with me and not have that severe reaction. So I just asked a very simple question, and you can do this through divine muscle testing as well if you know that skill, or with your pendulum. Do I have a subconscious need to have significant or severe detoxification reactions? Now, in her case, the answer was yes. Yes. Her subconscious says, yeah, I need to give you really bad symptoms. What we found out over the years is The reason, most of the time, the reason the subconscious gives you a very bad detoxification reaction is because it wants you to know that you're healing. Now, you and I'd be like, don't need the pain, don't need the swelling. Can you just like turn it down a notch, right? But the subconscious mind's like, I want to make sure that you acknowledge that you're actually healing. And most of us are thinking we're complaining about it. We don't acknowledge that we're healing. We got a symptom. But you can actually rewire the subconscious mind to say, okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for trying to communicate that I'm healing. Okay, so in the future, I will acknowledge that yes, when I have, a symptom after healing, that could be a detoxification reaction, but I don't need it so loud. Thank you so much. So could you please turn that down or eliminate that at all? So there are times where you can get the permission through your higher self source to eliminate the detoxification reaction, at least in my experience using Topican healing, so that it's minimal. So it's minimal. Now that doesn't mean you don't work on your diet, hydration, mineral levels. In Topican healing, we can actually check the detoxification organs, right? How happy and balanced is the detoxification function of your whole detox system. Get a number out of 100%. You can check how happy is the liver, the kidneys and ureters, the colon, the lungs, the lymphatic system, your secondary detox organs, like your sinuses, your reproductive system, your skin. Okay, so you can actually check to see how happy each of those physical components are of your detoxification system, as well as the entire detoxification system. Ideal is 95% or greater in all those areas. You can also be even pickier if you have the skill set to do that when you ask in divine muscle testing. How happy are the energetic organs of the detoxification system? So the energetic liver, the energetic kidneys, and so on and so forth. And you want to make sure those are 100% happy. Why? Because they are the blueprints of your physical organs and cells. So you need 100% perfectly functioning blueprints in order for your body to use those energetic blueprints to make the body part, whatever that is, the liver. For example, they've done studies where they've actually taken the gene out of a fruit fly for the eyes. Yes, the gene that codes the eyes in these experiments were taken out. So they mated these blind, if you will, or genetically altered fruit flies with each other. So when they mate them, their progeny, their children, have no gene for eyes. So they are born and they don't have eyes. Okay, no, that sounds very Frankenstein, I know, sorry. So, but these studies have been done. Uh, what they found was after several generations, the eyes grew back. And you're like, wait a second. There is no genetic code for the eyes. So how is it possible for these fruit flies to have eyes, right? And they check their genes. There's no genes for eyes. But guess what? There is. There's a positive morphic field or blueprint for the eyes. So the DNA, even though it's physically not there, there's an energetic blueprint still. And the body can make stuff out of energy. Yeah, cool, right? So if you're one of the folks that are like, oh, I feel worse after healing, this is bad for me. Maybe not, right? So consider maybe that's a detoxification reaction. Maybe you don't have enough minerals or hydration. Maybe you don't have your organs happy enough so you can detox efficiently. Or maybe your subconscious mind is just trying to give you a hint that you're detoxifying and you just need to be more efficient at it, or tell the subconscious, don't get me as big a symptom. Okay, I got it. I am going to reframe my mind to stop telling me I'm getting worse and start telling me, oh, I'm healing. So every time you get a symptom, it's like, oh, I'm healing, right? If you can rewire yourself that way, OMG, life-changing. Absolutely life-changing. And if you have the sophistication to check in with divine muscle testing, you can check in how happy your detox system is and whether or not you have a subconscious need to have significant detox symptoms. And if you don't need that anymore, then you can go ahead and just delete it. So with Topican healing, we would actually delete that program. So you don't have to have significant or severe detoxification symptoms anymore, right? And if it's for your highest and greatest good for that to happen, then it'll happen. If you want to learn more about my work, you can check out the link near this video. And if you're watching this on YouTube or Odyssey, go ahead and like and subscribe. Please feel free to share it with anyone who you think might benefit from it. And I'll see you on the next segment of the Healing Mistakes and Misconceptions. Bye for now.